Hi citizens of Cowlitz 2 Fire and Rescue. Welcome to your out west fire station here at Baker's Corner, Station 22. Your newly constructed fire station thanks to a bond that the voters passed. Here with me is Lieutenant Jeremy Huff. He's also our Deputy Fire Marshal and Project Manager. My name is Jason Sanders. I'm the Battalion Chief with Cowlitz 2. We're here doing a virtual live tour of our station due to the COVID-19. We certainly have plans in the future to have an in-house open house here at the station. But now we're just going to do this virtual tour. We're going to go inside, take a look at some of the stuff, and let's have fun. So here is the lobby for the citizens. As I said out there, here's Jeremy. He was the project manager. Jeremy, tell us about the project and how it went.
Project overall went very well. We started this project in February of 2019. Took a little over a year to get this completed. There's some still minor things here and there that still need to be completed by us and by the contractor. But overall, this station has turned out great. It's much better and more modern than what we had before that was built in 1965 that didn't have a kitchen or sleeping quarters, and now we have all those amenities here.
Great. Thanks, Jeremy. As I mentioned, the lobby, so this is for the public. The crew is here 24 hours, 7 days a week, however they might be on a call. So if you need something and you come to the fire station, hoping to get a hold of the crew. There is an alert button out front on the wall that you can get a hold of the crew. So if they are here, then they can answer the door. If they're not, then they're out on a call or out training. If it's a 911 emergency, obviously call 911. But if it's other business and it's during the week, Monday through Friday, feel free to call our main station with your questions there. Next, back here behind us is the training room. So welcome to the training room. The training room is where we get an opportunity to work on our knowledge and our craft with EMS and fire. On Wednesday nights, we've got a drill night. So for instance, tonight we have CPR out here for our volunteers and crews that are on duty. And obviously also a place for the public here in the near future once the COVID stuff's been lifted and Governor Inslee's lifted the stay-at-home stuff. Check our webpage out. We're going to have CPR classes offered at this station. So check c2fr.org for that information regarding CPR classes. Next, we're going to make our way into the where the crew stays. This is essentially their home, away from home. Much like your home, we've got areas to do, with computers and workstations for us to do our reports and projects that the ladies and gentlemen are assigned. So much like your home, we're going to have computers, desks, an area to hang out and do our work. Next, after the workstation area, here's what we call our day room. The day room has, just like your house, amenities for staying overnight and staying here all day like the crew does. So we have an area for relaxing, to have some family time, a kitchen table, and a place to have family dinners. And then obviously a kitchen to cook our food, our lunches, our dinners. So as I said, just like at your home, it's set up just like what you may have at your house. I mentioned things that you may have at your house. Well, we too have a pet. We have a pet fish. Next, we're going to kind of continue on through the day room. When there is a call placed with 911, we get alerted for that. And so we have tones that go off in the station to tell us, hey, you've got a call. And so Miller's going to push the fire button, so you're going to hear some fire tones.
Fire manual alert.
So that's the fire side. It's really difficult to explain what it's like to kind of be a firefighter and the day-to-day and what it's like to when the tones go off like that. You know, a resting heart rate of 60 on up to 120 because of the adrenaline rush and type of stuff. So as I said, they're here 24 hours a day. And you know, we are a family. Much like at home, now certainly during these times of social distancing, we've following the CDC guidelines when it comes to that here. We have good cleaning processes, but we do work close in proximity of each other. So we do have our PPE on when especially on calls, but it's very difficult because of working in close proximity to practice the 6 feet. But we do wash our hands, and we have good cleaning procedures in place. Next, let's walk down the hallway to where the crew quarters is. There's 6 bedrooms. This houses 6 ladies and gentlemen for the night and for the day. We're going to check out one of the rooms. Our staffing combination, it's a combination, we're a combination department. So we have volunteers, we have career folks, part-timers, interns. Miller is going to talk about our volunteer program here in a second. But we could have a minimum of 2 here at the station that's going to be responding on incidents. Here's one of the bedrooms. As I was saying, it's hard to describe. So it's 2 in the morning, you're sleeping, and tones go off. And so Miller's going to hit the EMS. So that's for an aid call. So that wakes you up from a dead sleep. Next, we're going to go back out. So picture I've gotten the call. I'm getting up. I get my shoes on. I'm making my way out to the bay now to get to the apparatus. So here's the apparatus bay, that's what we call it. In this bay we've got 4 pieces of apparatus. Here you see our brush truck, primarily for brush fires and hauling people to medical calls. If you follow me, we'll go check some other stuff out. I'm going to show you some of the PPE that we've been wearing because of COVID. This is for our respiratory protection. So you might see the crews that respond wearing this. You may also sound like they're yelling at you because of this muffling their voice, but that's not the case. They're just trying to communicate. So just realize that this is something that we're wearing during these times, in addition to other PPE, personal protective equipment to protect us and protect you. Behind, or kind of in front of me, is our water tender for out here. It brings water to the scene because out in this area that we serve, which is to the county line, Coal Creek area, Baker's Corner, the west end of Columbia Heights is this service area. So let's talk about service area and response times. With having a crew out here now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, response times out here are decreasing. We used to rely on either a company from or a crew from Columbia Heights or from in town at Kelso. Now with that crew out here, those response times are getting a lot better, and so that is great service for our taxpayers out here on the west end. Here's our fire engine that's out here, engine 22. And so the crew that's out here, today there is 3 responders. It's primarily on the medic unit. That's what sits here in this open space. Right now they're in town training on the new ladder truck that's going to be housed at Station 25 here in the near future in early May. So next time we're going to step over here with Kirk Miller, our volunteer coordinator, and he's going to talk about the volunteer program.
So volunteering for us has changed a little bit inside the United States at the moment. It's harder to try and get people to volunteer their time to help out other people. What we have out at this station here is what we're looking for with people staffing and helping our station is to come out and staff for 12 hours a day or up to 24 if they'd like to do that. Our volunteers require a minimum of 12 hours per month, as well as keeping up on their training that's required by Washington State law and all the portions for that. Our firefighters are trained up to the career level, doing the exact same training for that, and can get up to their firefighter 1 if they're interested to do that. We look for people to end up doing long shifts if they can. Obviously, with your family time is important. We'd like you to become part of our family as well if you have that time. We also have a high school program. We have 3 high school students that are currently on vacation a little bit with school being out, but they also volunteer their time in staffing here, learning the jobs and working their way into the fire service. If you'd like to be if you're a high school student that's a junior or senior and looking at getting into the fire service or emergency medical service, this is a good place to do that. You can visit our website, www.c2fr.org, and it's got information about our high school program that's ran through Kelso High. So if you have any questions at all, you can always visit us or call us on the work phone as well, 360-578-5221, which is, 218 is our main line there. So I'll pass back over to BC Sanders.
All right, thanks, Miller. I was talking about response times. The ambulance out here is staffed primarily with a paramedic and his crew, or her crew. And now with the 3-station model that we've got, with those in town here and Station 25 and next, we have 3 ambulances on a day. So that is, again, great service to our community. We're going to walk around this way and check out a couple other rooms within the bay. We have supplies for our EMS to restock our ambulances. This right now is kind of an all-purpose room. It's storing some of the leftover construction stuff. So we're going to continue on this way. We have some spare bottles for our apparatus here. This will become a work area, or workbench for the crews to do work on small tools, chainsaws, axes, that type of thing. And then in this room, we've got our Econ shower, or Econ Room. So if there's an exposure of some kind that we have out here to fluids, into our eyes, onto our skin, we have a Econ shower, in addition to a specially made what we call an extractor for our bunker gear that we wear. So post a fire, we're going to take our bunker gear off, we're going to wash it in this, which takes all the carcinogens and makes it safer for us to wear again on the next incident. We're going to continue out here towards the front, and we're going to finish our tour with some closing remarks from Chief Lefebvre. So follow me. So here's Chief Lefebvre, he's the fire chief of the district. Chief, we're on a virtual tour here of the station, so any closing remarks?
Well, you know, we did this for Station 25. We did it out at Lexington and talked about the support from the community and the opportunity for us to be the caretakers for really all of this is owned by our community. It's been their gracious support that has allowed us to have this. I have to say, this is so much different from when I started in this organization, and basically worked throughout my whole career in some fashion to see these new facilities built and established, and the staffing capability that is here, the effort that the men and women of Cowlitz 2 Fire and Rescue put forth to support and serve the community. And I think something I was just thinking about in light of certainly current events, COVID-19, and all of the things that are not just affecting us here, but around the world, is it is a time, certainly there's a lot of anxiety, but it is a time for us to be thankful. In our community, we have seen less impact from some of the things that are happening around the world, and I think we should be thankful for that. We certainly should be thankful for these stations, for this apparatus, but we also need to remember that none of this equipment rolls unless there's people involved. In this station makes me think of a few people, 3 of our volunteers that I want to thank for helping this come to a reality as well, in physically helping to move stuff from one station to another. And that's Captain Ellis and Firefighter Weaver and Firefighter Spadra. They, as volunteers, commit a lot of time. They staff our peak activity unit quite often, and they were out here at critical times helping to physically move stuff from the old station into the new station. And certainly Anna, who's behind the camera here, who's put a lot of effort forward in getting the word out, especially with the obstacles that we have right now for doing that. We'd love to have an open house, and we will as soon as we have the opportunity to do that. And Jeremy Huff, Lieutenant Huff, for all of the hard work that he's done over the last couple years, seeing these stations come to a reality. But again, most important is to be thankful right now. It's just an opportunity for us to stop and reflect on what we have, not what we don't have. And so thank you to the citizens. It's an honor to serve. I know I'm speaking on behalf of all of the men and women in Cowlitz 2 Fire and Rescue, and certainly on behalf of our board of commissioners. So thank you very much for this opportunity and this equipment and this facility and all of the opportunities we have. Thank you.
Well said, Chief. Thank you. So that concludes our tour. A couple reminders. There is an emergency burn ban in effect right now due to the conditions and the winds. So we've had some examples of small fires that got big. So please be mindful of that burn ban. Have 2 ways out of your house. Do those drills, exit drills within your house, and check your smoke detectors. Make sure your batteries are refreshed. Follow kind of our guideline, which is when you turn your clocks back or forward, check your batteries. That's it from here. I appreciate you following us, and check out our website for future announcements regarding open house and CPR classes. Thank you.